It seems like every luxury brand is dropping a limited edition collection right now, and my brain is struggling to decide what's truly worth the price. Hi everyone, my name is Salima. Today we are diving back into the holiday madness with some new products from Dior, Chanel, Chantecaille, and Guerlain. If you have missed my first two videos, I will link those below because some of those items are impossible to resist. We are getting right to the point. Are these pieces high performing essentials or are we just paying for the limited edition packaging? I am giving you my honest feedback with all the swatches and comparisons you need before you splurge. Time to get started. Let's start with Chanel. I was mostly interested in the two illuminating powder blushes they launched this season. Rose Lumiere, which is a cool tone pink, and Peach Lumiere, which is a beautiful dusty peach shade. I grabbed Peach Lumiere since I thought it would work best for my complexion. So let's get into the details. First, let's talk about the packaging. The outer shell is that classic glossy black compact. Nothing special for the holiday. Inside, you get the large mirror, and of course, it comes with a little half moon shaped brush applicator. I never really use these brushes because they're not functional. It's more of a compact novelty than a tool, so I set that aside. The powder surface is embossed with iconic Chanel symbols like camellia and pearls. There was some visible sparkle when I first opened the compact, but that was just the overspray. Peach Lumiere comes with two distinct shades, a darker blush color and a lighter pearly highlighter shade. The idea is that you can use the shades separately or you can swirl them together for a healthy glow effect. As you can see from the swatches, this peach shade doesn't really show up on my skin as a prominent true blush. It's incredibly natural and very sheer, to the point where I think it acts more like a natural, luminous highlighting veil rather than a true pop of color. The peach color is so minimal that, at least on my skin tone, it definitely doesn't read as a blush. If you have a lighter complexion than mine, I still think you will find it reads as a very gentle, healthy looking blush. But you should know that you cannot really build it up for intensity. It's designed for soft radiance. Now, for the highlighter side, it has a bright white base with a golden shimmer. What I love is that since the white base is so sheer and finely milled, it doesn't look chalky or stripy on my complexion, even when I wear it on its own. Because the whole compact has that golden shimmer, I don't really want to use this peach lumiere as a blush, as the shimmer can sometimes emphasize skin texture. Overall, I think it is a great peach highlighter for me. I think that layering the sheer peach side gently on top of a matte or a cream blush gives the most natural and beautiful effect. However, in full honesty, I don't feel like this is something unique in my collection. I can think of a few very similar shades I already own, like the peach shade in the Hourglass Holiday 2025 palette, where you get a similar luminous effect, but you also get five other powders. And I have something similar from MAC as well. So I think the Chanel Peach Lumiere is a great purchase if you don't already own a luminous sheer peach highlighter or a blush. But if you already own something similar from brands like Hourglass or NARS, this is an easy skip. You're largely paying a premium for that beautiful limited edition embossing, not for a truly unique shade. Next up, I picked up something I honestly wasn't planning on buying, the Chanel Rouge Allure Lip Laque in the shade 558 Incandescent. The main reason I grabbed it were that I had never actually tried this formula, and I realized I don't typically own these gorgeous, deep raspberry kind of shades. I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised by this formula. It has a very thin consistency, almost like a water tint, so it doesn't feel like a heavy liquid lipstick at all. But despite that light texture, the color payoff is truly impressive. Since this is such a deep, rich raspberry pink color, I can wear it at full opacity and it gives me a beautiful statement color that is perfect for the holidays without looking overly bright or neon. Or I can apply a tiny amount and spread it thinly with my fingers to get this beautiful, everyday berry stain effect. There is definitely shimmer in this, but it's not overly glittery. It's fine and luminous. It's not like that metallic finish you get from the Dior lip duos. And the best part is that as the color fades, the shimmer fades with it. You're not stuck with that odd leftover patch of shimmer clinging to your lips after the color is gone. Speaking of wear time, the longevity is seriously impressive. I'm getting a good 8 to 9 hours of wear even through eating and drinking. The color doesn't just fade away, the longevity is there. I'm really happy with the comfort and the wear of this formula. I'll definitely be adding more shades to my collection after trying this one. Moving on, I finally got my hands on the limited edition Dior Forever Glow Luminizer highlighter. This was the only item from Dior holiday collection I wasn't able to share with you guys in my last video. I wanted to hold off because I have a bunch of highlighters from the other brands that I'll be comparing it as we move along in this video. Anyways, looking at this stunning packaging, Dior did their absolute best. You have that classic Dior quilted pattern, the Kanache motif, but for the holiday, they have decorated it with these shimmering stars, so it instantly ties into their whole spectacular Circus of Dreams theme for the holiday collection. You also have this band in the center stamped with the Christian Dior signature. Now, when you open it up, the highlighter powder itself is pressed with that same elegant, starry Kanache motif. For me, this is one of those pieces where the artistry of the packaging is as much a selling point as the formula inside. Honestly, they totally knocked Chanel out of the park with this design. Now, let's talk about the powder itself because, in my experience, this is definitely not a natural highlighter by any means. This is the highlighter you reach for when you want that serious, unapologetic bling. Yes, this is a shimmery and a glittery highlighter, but the glitter is on the very fine side. It's not chunky or distracting. It has a multi-dimensional shimmer. It's not just one color. When the light hits, I see flecks of purple, pink, and golden shimmer, and that's why it gives this incredible wet look luminosity that really pops on the skin. The powder does have a base color, but it's a very subtle, pale yellow, so it blends with my skin tone beautifully while the prominent sparkle does the rest of the work. Since this is a very sparkly highlighter for my taste, I found a specific way to wear it that I love. I first apply the highlighter and then I apply a matte blush on top. In fact, it pairs very well with the Dior liquid blushes. I think that it softens the blinding sparkle just enough so the blush looks incredibly luminous and healthy without the highlighter looking way too intense or separate from the skin. I haven't tried any Dior highlighters before, but I'm seriously impressed with the formula. It is very smooth, soft, and finely milled powder. However, my only wish is that it was more natural looking on my skin, like the Prada highlighter. In my opinion, the Prada formula is in a league of its own. It constantly surprises me because I can make it look very natural on the skin, but I can also build it up to get that noticeable highlighter effect without looking shimmery or glittery. The difference comes down to the texture. While the Dior is super finely milled, very soft, and has no kickback or fallout, and I really appreciate that, it is still a powder formula. I can tell that it's a powder. The Prada highlighter, on the other hand, is so incredibly creamy, I just cannot tell that it is a powder formula at all. That creamy texture is what makes it sit on my skin in a way that is so unique and less texture enhancing. So while the Dior is beautiful for bling, it doesn't meet that everyday versatility of the Prada. If you have tried any of the Dior highlighters in their permanent collection, please let me know if any of them are less sparkly than this one. I would absolutely love to give those a shot. And before we move on to the next product, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you love straight to the point reviews, swatches, and comparisons, make sure you're subscribed to my channel and have those notification bells turned on so you never miss an upload from me. Alright, since we are talking about highlighters, now let's move on to the Gucci Glow Highlighter in shade 3 Warm Gold. This is actually a permanent product, and the shade 3 has been on my wish list for a while. But then I saw that Gucci released it in this limited edition holiday packaging, and I thought, what better time to grab it? For the holiday, they swapped the standard compact for the one with the striking gold and deep red design. The outer rim of the compact is a beautiful gold, and when you open it up, the inner trim surrounding the highlighter pan is a vibrant red, giving it that perfect festive touch. It's simple, but not over the top or bulky. When I first swatched the Gucci Glow highlighter, I could tell right away it's completely different from both my Dior and Prada highlighters. The Gucci formula feels creamy, but it has this bouncy effect to the touch. It feels silky and lightweight, but there's the bounciness that tells you right away it's a powder gel hybrid. You can also see this difference by looking at the finish on the skin. While the Prada looks creamy and melted, the Gucci has a more transparent, wet look shine. Now, even though Gucci has shimmer in it, it's not multicolored like the Dior. Because all the shimmer particles are the same shade of gold, it creates a more monochromatic and a more refined and natural effect on the skin than the Dior. Compared to the Dior, which is definitely the most intense, multidimensional bling highlighter, the Gucci is certainly more natural looking. However, the Gucci is still not as natural as the Prada. Remember, with the Prada, the formula is so creamy and melted, I truly cannot detect any shimmer particles at all. The Gucci does have detectable sparkle, but it remains versatile. Ultimately, this highlighter is ideal for anyone who wants some refined bling. You don't want a supernatural effect, but you also don't want to go completely over the top. Because of that powder gel formula, you have the ability to customize the intensity. You can easily build up that pop for the holiday season or wear a soft layer for your day to day look without much effort. It's still glamour, but with all the control. I hope you guys are not bored of highlighters because I also grabbed the Chantecaille Cheek Light Blush. They call it a blush, but I really think it's a highlighter. The packaging is stunning. The compact itself is a beautiful mirrored silver metal, but the real wow factor is on the lid. It has these clear crystals that look exactly like freshwater droplets randomly scattered across the top. It gives the compact a unique, luxurious, glistening appearance. When you open it, the powder inside is embossed with a letter C for Chantecaille, and it comes with a wide mirror. I think the entire design is just minimalistic and clean, but still festive. It captures the crystal shine aesthetic of the collection. Even though it is a $105 highlighter and I'm not a highlighter person, I wanted to try it because I love the powder formulas from Chantecaille. If you guys watched my powder blush showdown, I shared with you that I love the baked gel formula that Chantecaille had in their Sunstone collection. And this new Cheek Light is another one of their fantastic baked gel powder formulas. Chantecaille is one of the brands that, for me, do the powder formulas very well, especially powder formulas with shimmer in them. Even though it has some shimmer and it gives me a soft metallic sheen on the skin, the shimmer doesn't stand out on my skin as individual glitter particles. So Chantecaille added shimmer, but they kept it to the point where it is very forgiving for someone like me who has dry skin, who deals with texture. And so I'm hesitant to try anything that can accentuate that texture. I obviously want that glow, but I don't want to highlight the imperfections on my skin. And that's why I feel like for someone like me, it is worth splurging on Chantecaille formulas. I would describe this color as a soft pink champagne. So you get the warmth of a champagne color, but when I sweep it high on my cheeks, I get a subtle flush that makes me look fresh and radiant. Now let's compare it to some other highlighters in my collection. This Chantecaille highlighter reminds me a ton of my Dolce& and Gabbana Everlift Luminizer. The quality is so similar because both formulas are creamy, yet they create that very soft, diffused radiance on the skin. And both give you the ability to easily build up the color for that more intense, blingy highlighter effect if you want it. The primary difference is the texture itself. The Dolce& and Gabbana feels like a true creamy powder, while the Chantecaille is more of that baked gel formula. You get a little bit of wetness or hydration feel in the Chantecaille formula, while the Dolce & Gabbana feels denser and creamier. But truly, the beautiful color and the subtle diffused effect it creates on the skin are very, very similar. If I were to compare the Chantecaille to the other limited edition highlighters we have talked about today, I think it shares the most in common with the Gucci Glow highlighter. Both have that hybrid gel formula quality. The Gucci has its powder gel hybrid texture, and the Chantecaille is that baked gel powder. Because of this, both are excellent at creating a natural, seamless effect on the skin. However, there is a difference in the intensity. I find that with the Chantecaille, I need to build up a bit more to get that intense bling factor. With the Gucci, it's easier and faster to build up that intense layered pop of shine. If I rank all the highlighters we have looked at today, going from the most subtle and natural all the way up to the most intense, here's where they land. The Chanel is definitely at the top of the most natural, undetectable radiance. Next in line for the natural glow is the Prada. Then you hit the Chantecaille. And then Gucci is the most impactful, meaning it takes the least amount of effort to build up the shine within this group of four highlighters. The Dior is an entirely separate category. Because of that multi-chromatic shimmer, Dior is right off the bat the most blingy highlighter in this entire video. So tell me, which of these highlighters would you guys go for? Which one best suits your makeup style? Let me know in the comments below. I would be interested in hearing your thoughts. Okay, enough of highlighters. Now let's talk about some lip products. I also grabbed the Chantecaille lip cream in the limited edition shade Burberry. Now, if you've caught my video on all the new luxury lipsticks, you already know I've done a full deep dive on this new lip cream formula that Chantecaille launched this year. Long story short, I already love this formula. This is very creamy and comfortable on the lips to the point where I feel like it's more like a lip balm but with the full color payoff of a true lipstick. I get excellent opaque color in just one swipe. The shade Burberry is a gorgeous, deep berry red, and it's quite similar to the Chanel Rouge Allure Laque that I reviewed before. In fact, this is a great stick lipstick alternative for that color family. However, the Chanel is a little brighter and has a more high shine finish since it's a liquid lacquer. Plus, it has some micro shimmer in it. The Chantecaille does not have shimmer. It's slightly deeper, pulling more towards a rich red berry, and it sets down to a plush satin finish on the lips. In terms of wear, the Chanel lacquer is way, way more long lasting on me. This Chantecaille, because it is that creamy formula, lasts for about 4 to 5 hours with some light eating and drinking. That's totally understandable for this kind of comfortable formula, but it's definitely not the all day wear you get from the Chanel lip lacquer. So if you had to pick this stunning berry red kind of shade in a lipstick versus a lip lacquer format, which one would you go for? Would you pick the long lasting hold of the Chanel lacquer or the creamy comfort of the Chantecaille lip cream? Let me know in the comments below. Lastly, I also grabbed a few items from the Guerlain holiday collection. When I first saw their holiday lineup, I planned to pick up their lipstick case, the lip oil, and the highlighter. However, after seeing a couple of review videos, I decided to skip the highlighter since it looked way too glittery and sparkly for my liking. So between the Guerlain and the Dior highlighter, I happily decided to go for Dior. For Holiday 2025 Tale of Wonders collection, the Guerlain Rouge G lipstick case is beautiful. You have the gold metal casing, and the cap is covered with this beautiful, intricate, geometric starburst pattern. The gold and silver patterns are intricately carved. They aren't smooth, but you can feel the distinct raised edges of the design. When you move it in the light, the whole pattern catches and refracts the light. So you get this incredible festive dazzle. It's the ultimate piece of luxury for your handbag, and it still includes that handy built in mirror inside. Plus, if you order directly from Guerlain's website, you have the option to get your name engraved on the mirror inside, which is amazing. And because this is a Rouge G case, you can use it with any of the Rouge G lipsticks that you already have. Or you can pick up the two beautiful shades they came out with, especially for this holiday. Their limited edition holiday shades 306 and 877 are beautiful. You have one nude and one bold shade. But I actually had my eye on the permanent shade 15, La Maroon Glaze, which has been on my wish list ever since I bought two other shades from their permanent line. Shade 15 is a really beautiful medium tone, warm brown. It is very flattering, neutral brown with a reddish undertone, which is perfect match for fall and winter. If you are not into deep, dramatic red or super dark berry shades, this warm brown tone feels rich and grounding. I think it is great, sophisticated alternative for the cooler months. It still looks incredibly chic and easy to wear. And you guys know, I rave about the Guerlain Satin formula. It is hands down one of my favorites. The formula is so incredibly thin that even though you're going for a shade with good payoff like this brown, you have complete control over the application. You can easily shade it out to a soft stain, or you can build it up for a full opaque color without it ever feeling heavy. It is not just comfortable, it is almost weightless on the lips. I seriously forget I'm wearing a lipstick. It has some shine to it, which makes the lip look full, but it's definitely not a glossy lip. I also love that it is long lasting and fades beautifully and evenly at the end of the day. Lastly, I also grabbed the Guerlain KissKiss Bee Glow Oil in the shade Sparkling Rosewood. I was initially drawn to this shade because of the sparkle, but after trying it, I am not entirely sure if I made the right decision buying this specific one. I'm very familiar with the Guerlain lip oil formula, and if I could only pick one lip oil for my entire collection, it would be this one. Because it feels so incredibly nourishing, plush, and cushiony on the lips. It hits that perfect sweet spot where it's not super thick and sticky, but it's also not watery or runny. However, here is my honest opinion on the shade. I feel like, regardless of which shade I pick up from this line, they end up looking quite similar on my lips. I already own Honey Glow from their permanent line, and because it has that pH adaptive technology, it always turns into a beautiful sheer pink shade on me. This limited edition shade, Sparkling Rosewood, looks different in the bottle, but it also ends up looking like just another sheer pink on my lips. The sparkle is unfortunately barely noticeable when applied. So, if you haven't tried any of the Guerlain lip oils before, you can grab this limited edition shade because the formula is excellent. But if you're looking to expand your Guerlain collection and add a truly unique shade, this is not it. You won't get that distinct color difference from Sparkling Rosewood. If you really want a sparkling lip color in a comfortable base, you're better off trying the Sarah Creel Peptide Lip Gloss for that lightweight hydrating formula, or the Edam Lip Balm in the limited edition shade for a super nourishing, highly glossy, and long lasting formula. Lastly, I also grabbed the new REFY Satin Liquid Lipstick Pan. I want to note that this isn't a limited edition holiday launch. It's a new product that is officially part of their permanent line. As for the packaging, this comes in a sleek white pan format and uses a twist to click mechanism to dispense the product. The whole idea is to give you a precise dosage. REFI gives you a guide saying that one click gives you a sheer wash of color, two or three clicks for medium coverage, and four clicks for full opacity. However, I have to be honest, I think this formula is so incredibly pigmented that even one click gives me near full opacity. I do think that this teardrop shape and the rollerball helps to glide the product on the lips and help with the precise application. I feel like we are finally re entering a liquid lipstick era where the formulas are super comfortable. And that is absolutely the case with this REFY lipstick. It has a gorgeous satin finish and it feels comfortable and hydrating on the lips. I picked up the shade Mulberry, which is a deep berry brown. It looks like a sophisticated dark nude shade on me. And Maple, which is a rich medium tone terracotta brown. Both shades will look phenomenal during the fall and winter months. I also noticed that even though this is not specifically advertised as a transfer resistant formula, it tends to stay on my lips a lot longer than my satin finish lipsticks in a bullet format. It is just as comfortable on the lips as a bullet lipstick. So honestly, I think this is a fantastic product launch from REFY. All right, my friends, that wraps up today's video. I hope this review was super helpful for you and that you enjoyed hanging out with me. I would absolutely love to know, are any of these products on your wish list? Or if you have already tried them, what have your experiences been? And of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you never miss an upload from me. As always, stay happy, healthy, and safe wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye for now.